because I realized what kind of put me in front of people was what we call the adventure years. My husband got hit by a bus, and I like to point out that I was not driving the bus when he got hit. And, there's challenges that we cause, and there's challenges that come upon us, right? And then he had a massive heart attack, died in my arms. God spoke to me while he was gone. That experience took everything that I had faith in, that I hoped for, that I had studied in God's word, and drove it into a knowing into my soul. And then I had the privilege of seeing my husband's soul or spirit or essence, depending on your different religious beliefs, come back into his body, and he came back alive. And then I was in a wheelchair for a very difficult pregnancy. I'd had 10 pregnancies at this point, 7 miscarriages, 2 living children. And my daughter was born and lived for 54 days. All of that happened in 3 years. And so people started asking me, why are you okay? Now, if I just tell you the events of those, you think, man, I'm this resilient, amazing person. But to me, the real story was the decisions I made throughout my life to get me to that point of resilience. And any person, I had unusual circumstances come upon me, but I was still the same person before those circumstances. Those same tools of resilience were in me. Those same capacity to make choices were things that were made when I was, there was a moment when I was a little girl and I was being chased by some boys that were my brother's friends, and they were high. And I was terrified and afraid of what was going to happen next. I was already being sexually molested. And so being assaulted by these high boys, meaning high as in on drugs, I was terrified. And I was not raised in a particularly, though a religion was in my home, it was not being practiced and it was not really discussed. And